Eagles beat Jamaica to win 2025 Unity Cup. PSG beat Inter to win first ever Champions League trophy. And while in Formula One, McLaren's Oscar Piastri ends pole position at Spanish Grand Prix. Good morning and welcome to Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. I am Miracle Phillip, and it's always a delight to get to serve you with sporting updates right here on your radio. Well, we'll get to talk about Nigeria first. Nigeria needed penalties to see off Jamaica in the final of this year's Unity Cup that held on Saturday. Of course, we'd been looking out for it. The game had ended 2-2 in regulation time. However, Moses Simon opened the scoring with a fine finish off Cyril Dessa's cross. But then the Reggae boys, they decided to level up almost immediately through Kaim Nixon. Now, the Super Eagles still went up front thanks to that fantastic solo effort from Samuel Chukwueze. Although Jamaica were unrelenting, they found an equalizer with John Russell finding the back of the net at the 63rd minute. This win actually means that Nigeria have won the trophy for the second consecutive time, and this one is big win for Nigeria. Also a sign that, well, maybe we're just making some level of progress, yeah. And we can actually trust the process, because I mean the penalty shootout ended 5-4, including debutant Cristantis Uche scoring the final penalty. So I mean, this is one good news, yeah, one that we could actually say, okay, we don't do, we figure ourselves, they go. Yeah, but I know that, this is just one of many of those matches that, just put us out there to say, okay, we're trying, we're working hard, and possibly we can actually get, something out of the Super Eagles team. Even as also we look out for a friendly against Russia. So it's something that we're also going to look out for as well as we get to face off with Russia as well in the coming days. I mean, Russia have actually also released their 31 player list to face Nigeria's Super Eagles. So that's just one thing that we're actually going to be looking out for. Let's not even forget that, this particular team as well, they have been all out of football for a while, Russia-Ukraine war and all of that. But let's see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes, really. Well, it's still Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And yes, I am serving you with sporting updates. Let's get to talk about the CAF Champions League as well. Did you watch that match yesterday? It was interesting to get to see that Egypt's Pyramids FC, they beat the Mamelodi Sundowns to win the CAF Champions League. Now, the first leg of this clash had ended 1-1, but we got to see Pyramids FC go up against, Mamelodi Sundowns in a game that ended 2-1 yesterday being Sunday. And for them, it is their win. They won the CAF Champions League for the first time. Looks like a lot of people are getting to do a lot of fests this season. It's been really interesting. Pyramids actually triumphed in a 3-2 on aggregates after the first leg had drawn on 1-1 in Pretoria last week. We saw Fister Mayele scoring after 23 minutes and Ahmed Sami on 56 minutes for the Egyptian outfit before Ikram Reina reduced that defeat or that victory, the chances of still going on at the 75th minute, but they were not able to pull it all up to the end, unfortunately, for Mamelodi Sundowns. And so the Pyramids of Egypt, Pyramids FC of Egypt, actually took this win beautifully well. They had been coached under Krunoslav Josic. We're talking about a former Croatia midfielder, and was able to help them lift their first Champions League trophy, CAF Champions League trophy. So it's a beautiful one for them. Congratulations to the new champions. And the interesting thing about this is also the fact that a new Champions League trophy was unveiled, and so they were the ones to get to touch it. And you know what? It was brought to the touchline at the 30 June Stadium by our very own 48-year-old Nigerian legend and former Inter Milan and Arsenal star. Guess who? Kanu Nwankwo. So, I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful game to look out for. Football is so beautiful, yeah? We'll take a break, and when we come back, even more sporting updates for your listening pleasure. Stay tuned.
WFM 91.7.
Radio never sounded so cool. It's time to celebrate those who make a difference in empowering women and families. Introducing the VOW 2025 Award. The VOW Award honors outstanding individuals, both men and women, as well as organizations that uplift and support women and families. Nominate inspiring changemakers and trailblazers in categories like Lifetime Achievement, Woman of the Year, Gender Balance Empowering Company, Social Innovation, Family Focused Organization, Government Agency Supporting Women and Families, Civil Society Organization Supporting Women and Families. Don't miss a chance to honor those making an impact. Nominations closes 31st August. For details on nomination, visit our Facebook and Instagram page at WFM 917. Be part of the change. Celebrate the champions of empowerment. Hosted by the Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation.
Call it drop.
Solid na the condition where they make pikin cry so they know they hear solid. But as we dey talk so, good news don land for town. No matter the colic condition where they do your pikin, colic blood drops go make your pikin body dey kakaraka. You and your pikin go come dey smile, come dey tear mouth again. Your pikin go come sleep well. You no need this one plenty. Na just one drop per time go stop all the fight wey dey happen for your pikin belle. This colic blood drops na another better product wey Maxim Healthcare carry come.
Colic blood drops.
If your pikin no well after 2 days, make you go see your doctor.
Kindly follow us on Facebook at Maxim Healthcare.
In Lagos, a movement is breaking the silence on menstrual hygiene. Meet Yef Wash, the Youth Empowerment Foundation Water Sanitation and Hygiene Project. Implemented by Mangrove and Partners and Youth Empowerment Foundation, Yef Wash Project is transforming lives across 41 schools and 10 communities. Training 2,500 girls and women, the project is debunking myths, promoting hygiene, and ensuring access to safe, gender-friendly toilets. Every Wednesday across schools, we're empowering them to lead, learn, and even create businesses around menstrual health products. Join Yef and Mangroves and Partners on Women Radio 91.7 FM every Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. as we address WASH issues today. Also, visit our social media pages to learn more. Together, we're shaping a safer, empowered future for all. Yef Wash Project, changing lives, one community at a time. Sell your market on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Are you a member of our Women Radio Network? Are you a trader? Do you own a business? Do you want to increase your sales? I have good news for you. To sell your market free with no charge every Tuesday 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Call 07000 917 917 09155 917 917 0800 1235 917. Sell your market and connect with customers far and wide for free. This is only for Women Radio Network members. Follow us on social media, Facebook, X, and YouTube at WFM 917.
The stories are real.
Something like this happened to me years back. I saw some messages in his phone. The lady that sent the message to him, when I told him, I said, "Oh, why are you like this? Why are you doing all this?"
It's all around you.
And when she comes up to him to tell him her sexualness, you should be humble enough to listen. And if there's something you can do about that, you do it. If you're reading books, if you see a therapist, be open to certain things. Because at the end of the day, this person is your partner. That is the bottom line of everything. My family advised him to marry the girl he has significant. We forced him, but he refused. So when the girl starts telling that, we call her too much when there's something to share.
You want to share it? Let me be free.
Not alone. Break the silence culture. Adult conversations. Weeknight from 8 on WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
Driving through traffic? Bored at home? Or maybe you're having a bad day? Ease your mind with great music, entertainment, and lots of laughter on the evening experience every weekday from 4 to 9 p.m. on WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
WFM 91.7 muryar mata.
Well, this is still Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. I am Miracle Phillip, and always, it is a delight to get to serve you with sporting updates. Yeah, we're doing this together because we love it. Don't we love it? And you too can be part of the show. The phone lines are 07000 917 917 09155 917 917. Our toll free number for women as well, 0800 1235 917. And then we have our text and WhatsApp line, 08155 917 917 0703 175 6537. Now, I want us to talk about everything that went down as well. I mean, the weekend was packed, from Nigeria winning the Unity Cup to Pyramid FC of Egypt winning the CAF Champions League. And now let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Well, it was definitely about to look forward to. The race to the 31st of May seemed so long, but finally, football fans across the world had a game they actually did watch. And while for some it was greeted with a bit of disappointment, yeah, for some others, it was a lot of cheers. PSG trashing Inter 5-0 to win the Champions League title for the first time in their history. Yeah, French club Paris Saint-Germain, they have won the Champions League. They dominated for the most part. In fact, this was the most one-sided final in recent memory. And a lot of people were like, if Barcelona were the ones that met up with PSG, if it was Barcelona, it would have been a lot more interesting and intriguing. But it was what it was, as we got to see goals coming from first Ashraf Hakimi at the 12th minute, actually. Desiree Doué, who actually even won the man of the match at the 20th minute and the 63rd minute. He came in with a score, those two goals. And yes, also we got to see Varaskelia at the 73rd minute, putting that for PSG, their fourth goal, and sealing it up was Mayulu at the 86th minute. And this is exactly what Louis Enrique, their manager, had to say.
I feel terrible. Not terrible, no. Really very happy because making history was one of the goals from the beginning of the last year. And the way we played today in the final, it means a lot for me as a coach, and I have to congratulate my players, the keep, and also the supporters. It's unbelievable how they support us, and very happy because it's one of the best feelings that you have as a professional, making people happy.
Well, that's exactly what Luis Enrique had to say. And, even having to wear a shirt that, held up his daughter, a t shirt showing Zana, his daughter, planting a PSG flag. It's just so beautiful to get to see that Luis Enrique is absolutely excited. I mean, a lot of people have been saying, Mbappe, you should have left PSG the way that you did. Nah, what's up, nah? I mean, yes, he did win, as with major goals on his side for Real Madrid and in Europe. But apart from that, lots of people saying, Mbappe, you were looking forward to the Champions League, but now PSG, your former side, have gotten here. Let's not also forget that PSG won this without Messi, without Neymar, without Mbappe, and what does that tell you? However, let's also look at the fact that even Luis Enrique had to come out and say, "Hey, make una give them Bele the Ballon d'Or," only for how he defended in this final. He said the way he defended tonight, only that can be worth the Ballon d'Or. This is how you lead a team with goals, titles, leadership, defending, how he was pressing, and man, he was pressing. And so for Ousmane Dembele now, it's 54 games he's played, 48 goals and assists in 54 matches, 35 goals, 13 assists, Ligue 1 Cup 1, Coupe de France 1, France Super Cup 1, Champions League 1. Is this our Ballon d'Or winner? But also, let's not forget the fact that, in spite of PSG winning, we got to see Rafinha. Yeah, he was actually the one who won the Golden Boot this season. Champions League top scorer, 13 goals. Champions League top assister, 8 assists. Champions League most goals and assists, 21 contributions. Champions League most chances created, 38. Congratulations to Rafinha still. It's a Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. In spite of PSG winning, sadly, there was an incident. Around 5,400 police officers, they were deployed across Paris after the game with officers using tear gas and pepper spray on Champs-Élysées. We got to see 2 people dead, a police officer in coma. Nearly 560 people were arrested after a disorder broke out in France following that victory. It's even very sad to actually know that about 192 people were injured. There were 692 fires, including 264 involving vehicles, and a 17-year-old boy was stabbed. Really, really sad. We hope to see how they get to, put it under control, even as 560 people were arrested. But that's not to steal out the victory. I mean, PSG are winners. They're so excited for themselves. It's a big one, yeah? It's a big one. League One took the Champions League trophy this time around. Let me get to hear what you have to say about this particular match. 07000 917 917 09155 917 917. Our toll-free number for women to call in 0800 1235 917. And yes, we have our text and WhatsApp line as well. 08155 917 917 0703 1756537. I want to know what you thought about that match. Were you excited? Was it the kind of Champions League final you were looking forward to? Did you get bored? I mean, I talked to one of my friends and I was like, Miracle! I just stood up where PSG scored their 3rd goal. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? What happened to Inter? And very interesting is the fact that the future of Inter's coach, I'm talking about Simone Inzaghi, is under some pressure per se. Yeah, it's under some pressure, especially also as he is beginning to be linked to a Southeast side. So, what are we going to see with Simone Inzaghi? No, right at this time, let's talk about what went down as well in the world of Formula One across the weekend. Well, the race is going on and so much to look out for this very fast-paced sport. Oscar Piastri, he led Lando Norris to a McLaren 1-2 at the Spanish Grand Prix, as indeed he was the one who took pole victory and of course won the race. It was magnificent for Oscar Piastri, who was in that stunning pole position. Of course, we got to see, his very own teammate Lando Norris following him back to back, although he actually beat Norris by 0.209 seconds. He had to be that fast. We also got to see as well, other team who saw Charles Leclerc taking the third spot. Yeah, we also saw George Russell as well with Mercedes at the fourth spot. Now, there was a bit of, back and forth with Mark Verstappen, and I'm going to get to talk about that, right now. Let's talk about it. So, Mark Verstappen had to deal with hard tires for the final sprint to the flag. In fact, he was actually, he crossed the line at the fifth slot, fifth position, but he had to drop to 10, and that was because of a 10-second penalty because he caused the collision with Russell, who actually come out to say, hey, Max Verstappen, he let himself down. Let me take this call here. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Abba. Calling from Liverpool.
Your name is?
My name is Adoyemi, calling from Liverpool.
Okay, Aboyemi, glad to have you join us.
Yeah, very interesting match over the weekend. I enjoyed all of them, especially the African Champions League.
Okay.
And yes, I'm happy that Pirates won. So avoid all this banter between Nigeria and South Africa. But I want to say something now. If they give the better, what I know that he deserves to be the world best player. And Hakimi, you are sure that he will be the African best player.
You think it's Hakimi that's going to take it over Mohamed Salah? I mean, there's still Victor Osimhen.
No Salah, because Hakimi won Salah in Champions League. In the home shower, it's Hakimi that will win it. But I want to say that if they give them better, the world best, then Ronaldo have to apologize to Vinicius. Because Vinicius was give everything times 7 what somebody did, and he didn't. They denied him the world best. So if they give them better this world best, they have to apologize to Vinicius. That's my gift.
All right, thank you so much, Abayomi, for joining. He says if they give the Ballon d'Or to Dembele, they have to apologize to Vinicius Junior. Do you agree with that? Yeah, let's also talk about the fact that even the 2025 CAF Player of the Year is also going to be a bit hard this time around. Mohamed Salah, 35 goals, 1 trophy. Ashraf Hakimi, 9 goals, 3 trophies. Victor Osimhen, 37 goals, 2 trophies. Such an interesting season, yeah. So I was talking about Formula One, Mark Verstappen as well. I told you that he had to drop all the way to the 10th position because of a 10-second penalty. He caused a collision with his fellow teammate Russell, and that was what we got to see in Formula One. So Nico Hülkenberg sat at 5th position for Sauber, and then we have Lewis Hamilton at the 6th position for Ferrari in the Spanish Grand Prix. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Festac.
Glad to have you join us, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so quickly, I just want to comment on some sporting activities that happened last week. A lot of sporting activities happened last week, right? But let me start with yesterday's match. Pyramid, Babalondo Sundown. I'd expected Pyramid to win. Why did I expect Pyramid to win? That's because the DSTV pundits, the commentators, they were just all biased and they were trying to favor Babalondo Sundown. From the very first leg, I just wanted Pyramid to prove them wrong. And thank God, Pyramid got the late equalizer the first leg. And I just knew that the second leg, even though Babalondo Sundown played very beautiful football, they dominated. but Pyramid they were more disciplined, and yes, they got the win. I was very happy for that. Then for Nigeria, let me not even comment about those guys because honestly, if they continue playing that way, they cannot be Russia. Russia has not played football. Let's not forget those guys have not played football for almost 2 years or 3 years now. And if Nigeria is coming with that kind of display, the defense, the attack, the midfield especially, I'm not sure we can handle Russia. In fact, Jamaica would have won us. Jamaica played better, and also Ghana played better than us. Well, that's just by the way. Coming to PSG and Inter Milan, I never expected that scoreline.
You never expected it.
I know that. I never expected. Yes, I know that Enrique, he was doing some certain things. If you check online, you will see that he was standing in a very tall, like a tall platform, and he was there training his players, telling them what to do. And I think that was the tactic he used because he stopped Inter Milan's fullback, the fullback from DiMarco and Dumfries. They did not do anything to the night. In fact, DiMarco was just causing problem in that left-hand side. Yeah. So it was really whitewash from me. I did not expect Inter to win. But for the Ballon d'Or, it's just due to Dembele. Dembele deserves it. So that's just it.
All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for calling on the show this morning. 07000 917 917 09155 917 917. Our toll-free number for women, 0800 1235 917. And our text and WhatsApp line, 08155 917 917 0703 175 6537. All right. Let me just bring you in with everything that went down in the French Open. Carlos Alcaraz, he fought past American Ben Shelton. It was a tight 4-set match. Yes, it ended with Carlos Alcaraz taking the win. It was 7-6, about 10-8, 6-3, 4-6, 6-4. And that victory came after 3 hours and 19 minutes on the court, Philippe Chater, on Sunday. So Alcaraz now is going to take on Tommy Paul in the quarterfinals after Tommy Paul was able to see off Australia's Alexei Popyrin. We're also going to see as well 4-time Roland Garros champion Iga Swiatek. No, she's actually been struggling with her form, has not reached the final since winning the title last year. She was in serious trouble, especially after trailing 2-0 to Rybakina in the second set, but she was able to come all back to clinch a 1-6, 6-3, 7-5 victory for herself. And Swiatek right now, she's aiming to become the first woman to win 4 straight Roland Garros crowns since Suzanne Lenglen 102 years ago. Will that work out for her? Already she is on a 25-match winning streak at the French Open. So there's just so much to look out for. And let's not also forget as well, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, who actually needed just 8 match points to wrap up a 7-5, 6-3 win over American Amanda Anisimova. Beautifully well for her. She has reached her 10th successive major quarterfinal. And guess who she's going to face off in the quarterfinals? Olympic champion Zheng Qianwen, the Chinese international. So it's going to be a lot. But I'll be right here to serve you with all of these sporting updates. Well, this is really a wrap right here on Sports Radio 360 for today. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday. Meanwhile, like I always will say, stay sporty, stay good, stay tuned. Up next is the newspaper review on your Women Radio 91.7. I am Miracle Phillip. Good morning.
Feel the magic in the air. I live in my all air. Ale, feel the magic in the air. I live in my all air. Ale. Feel the magic in the air.
Magic system. Everybody, show
Feel the magic in the air.
Comme d'habitude, on est calé. Comme toujours, ça va aller. On te met la danse à gogo. Tous ensemble, on fait le show. On